Hello, my name is Daniel Johnson. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. I first heard Bill Harbeck on the radio when I heard Family Life Radio do a program on sexual abuse. And when I was about 5 years old, I was sexually abused. And the first time I talked about it was with my wife when we were first married. When I heard his story, I knew that I needed to hear more and I needed to meet him. I went to his website and listened to his other interviews that he had and sent him an email and told him my story and sent some of the songs that I'd written out of my experiences. He then told me about the House of Hope, the Hope House, as we call it, and I said I needed to come and visit and be a part of that. And that was the beginning of a new part of healing for me. And so when I came to the Hope House, I found a place where I could get away from the stress of my jobs, of family, of everything that happens in life, and think and pray and read and sing. And most importantly, have conversations. I met Bill and his family. I had conversations with Bill, a man who's been through it, a man who is a wounded healer, who's walked through the valley of the shadow of death, who knows how to pursue a person with strength and tenderness. And these conversations were each one life to me. So I've been at the Hope House a week now, and today God did one of the most incredible things in my healing journey so far. I went to bed last night a little bit fearful, couldn't think of specific things, but there were just things in my mind that were bothering me. And I woke up this morning and I listened to the podcast of Focus on the Family. And it was Dr. Dan Allender, who wrote The Wounded Heart, which I've read many times. And he told his story, which I had heard before, but this time the words really went deep. And he talked about the problem, one of the biggest problems in sexual abuse is that any kind of touch is normal to feel good. So that's the dilemma, is that there's so much shame with what was done to me because it felt good. And immediately I was just sobbing on the bed. I had to stop the podcast. And the thing that was in my mind was, I hate myself. I hate myself for having felt good during this abuse. And the other thing that I thought was, I hate God because he allowed this to happen. I began to walk around the house and sob and just think these things and say these things. And then I remembered my wife wanted me to write in my journal, so she knew what was going on. So I go back into the room and I pull out the little journal she had for me, and I went to a page that I had written 3 words on, and I ripped it out because I knew I wasn't going to use that. And the next page, she had drawn a picture of a flower with petals, and each petal said, I love you. And it was perfect. When we were young, we used to talk about picking the daisy and picking the petals off the flower and saying, he loves me not, he loves me not. And so I knew what she meant, that she loved me and that God loved me. And it was just huge for me. So I got on the phone to my wife. I said, I've got to talk to my wife and tell her what's going on. And I told her what happened. And I said, you know, how people always used to say to me, you're too hard on yourself, you're too hard on yourself. I said, Bill picked up on that in a few conversations. He talked to me about that. She said, You mean to tell me that for 40 years, people have been saying that to you, but this conversation never happened in a way that people could recognize what was going on? I said, yeah. So it was a wonderful time on the phone, and I've just been given a new hope for my own journey. And I'm not saying that this will happen to anybody else. It's just my story. Everybody's journey is different. I'm super grateful for Bill and Jillian and holding on to Hope Ministries that has created the place for these conversations and for these experiences to take place. And I'm forever grateful.